welcome to tonight from our point of view, from the Towards Better Futures team. Really, my job tonight is just as someone to introduce, which is quite good because Zoom seems to be playing up a bit for me. And what we're going to do tonight is take you through all the opportunities that are available to your sons and your daughters and your children, both within the senior phase, which is in terms of foundation apprenticeships, but also as they leave school, either through modern apprenticeships, which you'll hear about through Glasgow Guarantee, graduate apprenticeships. I'm not sure if Tony's going to talk to that, and Shell's going to talk about the Towards Better Futures programmes. Really what we want to do tonight is let you understand that there are such a wide range of options for young people, regardless of where they are at the leaving date, regardless of how close they are to the labour market. There is something there for them. And we need you to understand that, so that when you talk to them, you can talk them through all of those options. So tonight, Tony, Michelle, Gillian are going to explain all of those options to you. And I really hope, our intention is that you'll be incredibly positive about the opportunities. I would love to get more young people into foundation apprenticeships. I think it's a fantastic route through the senior phase. I think there's fantastic learning in it. And I think the benefits, and if young people can look at it as a journey, so foundation apprenticeship to a modern apprenticeship to employment, that for me is the ideal scenario. Now, Tony might come on and say something completely different, but if he does, then he's telling you lies, because I think that's right. But Tony never tells lies, so I'm completely confident that that's what Tony will say. Gillian will talk about modern apprenticeships, and we really want you to embrace them, because I think there's a lot of young people who may well be going to college and not sure why they're going, or may well be going into some kind of employment, who could get into a fantastic modern apprenticeship. And we want you to understand how wide those opportunities are, as opposed to maybe just some of the traditional understandings of what modern apprenticeships are. So you're going to hear about the whole apprenticeship family. You're going to hear about Towards Better Futures next steps. And hopefully you'll see the range of opportunities available. So much so, in fact, that I am of the opinion that there should be no young person in Glasgow who leaves to unemployment into a negative destination. That's what we're aiming for. We think we've got enough programmes to make that happen, and we just want you to understand them. So if that's okay, Leanne, I'm just going to pass on now, I believe, to Tony.
Yeah,
Tony's going to take you through the foundation apprenticeship, and let you realise that him and I are completely on the same page about everything we say about foundation apprenticeships. Isn't that right, Tony?
Absolutely, Jerry. I can endorse every single word that you've just said there about foundation apprenticeships. Absolutely spoken like a true gentleman for it. So, hi everyone. My name's Tony Minchell, and I work for Skills Development Scotland. And I'm going to play a short presentation going through the apprenticeship family, which is foundation, modern, and graduate. But just to echo what Jerry said, it's a phenomenal opportunity for young people in senior phase to get contextualised learning and putting that into then actually the sector or the position they would like to move into. And it really gets them that engagement within industry, which, to be honest with you, is priceless. And we talk about meta skills within that as well. But what I'll do is I'm going to show you a short presentation, and happy to take any questions after it. So if you bear with me. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this session about Scottish apprenticeships. My name is Tony Minchella, and I'm a Partnership and Delivery Manager with Skills Development Scotland, the National Skills Agency. During this session, you will hear about the suite of Scottish apprenticeships on offer, including foundation, modern, and graduate. Today, there are apprenticeships available in more industry sectors than ever before, all based on the skills employers want. I hope this session will give you an understanding of what these apprenticeships involve and the benefits they provide for individuals and employers. Foundation apprenticeships have been developed by Skills Development Scotland with industry and are designed to ensure the work readiness of young people by introducing them to the world of work earlier. With an FA, pupils develop knowledge, skills and capability through structured, high-quality industry engagement that provide real hands-on experience with an employer. FAs at level 6 are the same level of learning as a higher and is for senior phase pupils in S5 or S6 who can select one of the 12 frameworks alongside their other school qualifications. Traditionally delivered over 2 years, with year 1 being the academic part of the qualification and year 2 being a work placement with an employer. Ideally this would be face-to-face, however we can also offer virtual placements as well. The reason I say traditionally is that some learning providers also deliver and offer a 1-year model as well. Employers would set a project with support from the learning provider in your local area and support the pupil for either a half day or a full day per week during the duration of the work placement. As you can see, we have 12 frameworks available for foundation apprenticeships. These frameworks are aligned to where Scotland has some significant growth within these sectors, or indeed where we find that we have a skill shortage. The SCQF Level 4 and 5 Foundation Apprenticeships enable young people from S3 to S6 gain contextualised learning experiences across the school year through project-based learning in either automotive, construction or hospitality. Supported by a learning provider, pupils will negotiate and then propose a solution to the employer that will form the basis of the project they will undertake. Within Glasgow, we have 2 successful pilots running in hospitality and construction, whereby we have identified private sector employers who will work alongside our schools and delivery partners. These employers will offer industry insight and projects to support our young people on their programme. These employers have also guaranteed to fast track all candidates who successfully complete their FA level 4 or 5 to interview stage for one of their MA opportunities. The Foundation Apprenticeship will equip young people with an industry recognised qualification, but crucially with industry experience and skills that employers are looking for. It will help support to progress onto a job such as a modern or graduate apprenticeship. It will allow an opportunity for young people to stand out in job interviews, providing them with strong personal statements to showcase the skills which they have learned. A qualification which is recognised by all colleges and universities in Scotland. And an opportunity to develop meta skills to equip them for the world of work, such as creativity, problem solving, communication and confidence. A modern apprenticeship is all about getting a job, getting paid and getting qualified. They offer a blend of academic learning, practical experience and are available in a wide range of frameworks from financial services to digital and from engineering to health and social care. Around 12,000 companies offer modern apprenticeships every year, including many of Scotland's top employers as well as small to medium-sized companies. Modern apprenticeships can be for new or existing employees. There are many benefits to undertaking a modern apprenticeship. With over 100 frameworks available, spanning across hundreds of jobs within those sectors, it gives an individual the best possible access to training, which is designed by employers and industry in mind. It provides individuals to work in a real-world environment that puts your skills to the test right away. It will give you the experience which employers are looking for, and your qualification is accredited and recognised by Scottish Qualifications Authority and employers within the sector. Graduate apprenticeships is a new way for individuals to gain qualifications through work. Graduate apprenticeships are jobs open to anyone over 16 who wants to work, learn and earn up to a master degree level. The programme has not only been designed to benefit industry, but also designed with apprentices' development in mind. Graduate apprenticeships are paid employees spending most of their time learning on the job, while being supported by a structured university or college programme working towards a degree. We presently have 13 frameworks available for graduate apprenticeships. These frameworks are aligned to where we see significant growth within Scotland sectors. They range from accounts to engineering, IT, cyber, and even early learning and childcare. With civil engineering, there are 2 levels available at level 8 and level 10. Level 8 is classified as a higher apprenticeship. And within cybersecurity, we have level 10 and at level 11. Graduate apprenticeships are fully funded, and the programme is suitable for new and existing employees looking to earn a qualification up to a master's degree. It will also allow individuals to develop transferable, recognised skills that are considered relevant by industry, employers and universities. And they are industry designed so apprentices can be confident that what they learn is relevant and right for them for the role that they are in. Graduate apprenticeships are easy to access and available right across Scotland. For further information on our suite of apprenticeships, can I please direct you to our website apprenticeships.scot.
So, hi everyone, my name is Gillian Ward and I'm a Development Officer with Glasgow City Council, and I'll be speaking to you tonight about the Glasgow Guarantee. So just to give a bit of background on the Glasgow Guarantee for those of you on the call who haven't heard of it before, it was launched as the Glasgow Guarantee in September 2015, and it's the biggest programme of its kind in the UK. It's actually a legacy programme of the Commonwealth Games, and the Glasgow Guarantee programme offers a commitment that all sectors in the city will work together to ensure that unemployed Glasgow residents are assisted into employment or a job with training opportunities. It replaces the former Commonwealth Employment Initiatives, if you've heard of that before, which assisted over 6,000 Glaswegians to progress into employment, apprenticeships or training through a number of initiatives during the period 2009 to 2015. Next slide, please. So what actually is the Glasgow Guarantee? The Glasgow Guarantee is a wage subsidy employment programme that offers a commitment to unemployed local people to assist them into a modern apprenticeship or a Glasgow living wage job. And in its essence, the Glasgow Guarantee is an online portal for eligible Glasgow residents to register and to apply for work. So the vacancies that we advertise online are all approved Glasgow businesses, and they're only available to Glasgow Guarantee registered candidates. Next slide, please. So this is just a kind of snapshot of the types of opportunities which we regularly offer through Glasgow Guarantee. So they're all advertised on our website, as I said. We've got a range of different kind of modern apprenticeships, but also Glasgow living wage jobs that would be advertised there. The types of employers that we deal with are small and medium-sized enterprises who are within the Glasgow boundary. So it's kind of to support that small local business and match that with unemployed local people at the same time. We also advertise Glasgow City Council apprenticeships through the Glasgow Guarantee. So, for example, our education services will advertise childcare apprenticeships to work in nurseries. Or our social work services will advertise health and social care apprenticeships in our care homes. There's a whole different range of apprenticeship opportunities within Glasgow City Council alone. On top of that, we also advertise for our arm's length extended organisations. So one of those examples is the City Building Company, which will advertise their construction modern apprenticeships through the Glasgow Guarantee. Another example is Glasgow Life. They'll advertise their apprenticeships through us, and we also get a lot of housing associations who'll advertise on our portal as well. Next slide, please. So for candidates who are successful through the Glasgow Guarantee, we also have a dedicated aftercare team, and I think that's a really important thing to kind of point out with the Glasgow Guarantee. It can be quite daunting to leave school, not have entered the world of work before, and be thrown into that kind of environment. But we have a dedicated team who, once someone starts with their employer, they'll meet with the employer and the candidate to support them initially in those first few weeks, make sure that everything's in place that it should be. And then they'll continue to monitor them throughout the first year of their programme at 13-week points, just to make sure that any issues that are arisen are kind of dealt with as and when needs be. That also provides additional funding to help career progression. So that's something that's maybe out with the modern apprenticeship programme, training programme that is offered, but it's maybe additional training that might help them within the job that they're in or to progress on to a different job in the future. Next slide, please. So the eligibility for Glasgow Guarantee that obviously we're speaking about tonight, the summer school leavers who attend a Glasgow school or live within the Glasgow boundary, and it's also open up to winter leavers later on in the year. In addition to the school leavers, we also have eligibility for college leavers. So summer or winter college leavers who live within the Glasgow boundary are eligible for Glasgow Guarantee. And also anyone who's unemployed, living within the Glasgow boundary and supported by an employability provider would be eligible for the Glasgow Guarantee as well. And in addition, anyone who's facing redundancy and supported by the PACE programme is eligible. Next slide, please. So the registration process, the summer school leaver registration opens up on the 1st of March this year. And it's an online registration. It's a really simple process to go to. It's completed at www.glasgowguarantee.org. And I would just encourage anyone who's thinking about that modern apprenticeship route or maybe sees it as a second option, there's no harm in getting registered onto the Glasgow Guarantee. There's no obligation to apply for anything, but it opens up another opportunity to see the types of vacancies that we have to offer. You can also go into the Glasgow Guarantee at the moment and see the kind of live vacancies that we have just now, and that will give you a flavour of kind of what's to come, but there will be more jobs that are advertised as we get into the summer months. Next slide, please. And that's just a screen print of the website. So on the left-hand side here, you'll see there's a section for Make It Work. That's where eligible candidates would register to apply for jobs. And the separate side for Get Recruiting is where we ask businesses to register to advertise their vacancies through us. Next slide. So just some contact information. We've got a dedicated email address, which is guarantee@glasgow.gov.uk. If you have any kind of questions out with the Q&A at the end of the session, feel free to drop us an email and one of the team can get back to you. Again, the website's a really good place to go to see different case studies that we've had people recruited through Glasgow Guarantee, and like I say, those live vacancies. We also have a Facebook and Twitter page. So Facebook, just Glasgow Guarantee, you'll find us there. Twitter handle is @GLA Guarantee, and that's a really good place to link into to see those live vacancies that we're posting regularly, and we share them through our social media channels as well. And that's me, I think. That's all my slides.
Thank you very much, everybody. My name is Michelle Kershaw. I'm the Principal Officer within Towards Better Futures. My role is to support the 100... If you just go on to the next slide, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was thinking too far ahead there.
My role is to support the 100% Positive Destination strategy that is sitting within the Towards Better Futures education team. So literally that means by 2023, our role is to ensure that all our leavers leaving our secondary schools will have a positive destination and also have the ability or support to sustain. All the Towards Better Futures activity has been developed to support this aim. If we could just go on to the next slide, please. So Towards Better Futures is made up of a small team who are predominantly based in the city chambers. However, our wider reaching team are based out in schools and do a lot of work with our young people who are on our school roll. So I'll take you through what that looks like just now. Every secondary school in Glasgow has got a full-time, we call DYW coordinator. So that's a Developing the Young Workforce coordinator. Their role is extremely open. It's to work with young people S1 right up to S6 and to support them to develop the tools to leave us into a positive destination and also with the ability to sustain. They also work intensely with our young people 6 months before they leave And that's predominantly young people who are at that point still unsure of where they're going to or what they need to do. And they do intense support there. Throughout S1 to S6, these DYW coordinators for each school develop and support employer engagement. And that's knowing their young people in their secondary school, knowing what their skills and aspirations their young people are looking for. And from that, looking at the employer linkage to support that young person, to gain maybe work placement, to get chatting with somebody before they apply for a post, to get a real live employer to interview them before they're actually leaving school. So lots of activity around that. They also have the biggest part of their role is being partnership working. And that is to ensure that every young person in their secondary school has the support they require to ensure that they leave to a positive destination when they do leave us. So our DYW coordinators are based in every secondary school. The rest of the team are based in headquarters, and we look after, as a city, we look after things like widening access. And that's about developing and delivering programmes within the schools to support our young people who are looking to enter higher education. So that could be an HND at college, it could be a degree in university. So one of our team members is highly experienced and get very, very close links with all Glasgow universities and colleges and a lot of other universities throughout Scotland, and support our young people, first of all, from S1, S2, about understanding what university is, raising their aspirations and letting them understand that, yes, you can do this. And then once they come into S4, S5, S6, putting in that additional support of mentoring from our universities, mentoring from our college candidates who can then support them, visits to the universities, a chance to hear a university lecture, a chance to attend a university as a summer school, so that when they do apply and enter, they have got a really good understanding of HE education, what's expected of them, what they should expect from their university or college. And also, if something doesn't go the way they expect it to be, they know that Rita, our team member, is available to them, even once they have left and entered higher education. And that's all round about sustainability. We've also got Next Steps to FE, and that's a programme that's delivered S4, S5, S6, and it's in the young person's last year of school. Our foundation apprenticeships are also part of that, and this is looking at our young people having the opportunity, normally 2 half days a week, to attend a Glasgow college, to get a good understanding of the difference from being a school pupil to being a student, getting a good feeling of how a college runs, and to see what is that an option for them on leaving. All our Glasgow colleges support our young people on these programmes to enter them full time. So it's a very good stepping stone for any of our young people who are looking to go into FE on leaving school. All the programmes are developed around the labour market information, what jobs are available in the next 2 to 3 years, local, what jobs are available in Scotland, and let's look at growth areas and make sure our young people have the opportunities to enter a post that would be a really good career step for them. The other programme we've got that I'm going to discuss is Awards and Destinations, and that is, again, young people last year at school who may not have a full-time timetable. This was a programme that was set up. It was originally developed because of COVID, and a lot of our young people, rightly so, did not leave school at the end of 4th year or the end of 5th year during the first year of COVID, because A, we were in lockdown, they were extremely unsure, they were very limited in what they could do. Awards and destinations is for our young people who have went back to school, who I would have said in normal times, non-COVID times, would have left school, went into maybe an apprenticeship, went into a job, went into college. But for some of our young people who have maybe been anxious, maybe their role within an apprenticeship wasn't available, they've came back to school, and we don't want that year being a waste, shall we say, of a year. So Awards and Destinations has programmes developed out with school, and that is for young people to get additional qualifications and hands-on vocational experience of possible areas that they may want to go to on leaving school. For example, construction, early years, we have got social services, care of the elderly. Again, looking at jobs that are growing. We have got retail and hospitality. And that is a really worthwhile opportunity for our young people in the last year at school, if they don't have a full-time timetable and working towards a number of qualifications in school. If you could go on to the next screen, please. All right, it's actually come up now, that's good. So our next one is about our school leavers. So Towards Better Futures is all about supporting our young people into a positive destination when it's the right time for them, and secondly, helping them to sustain. So we've got two other programmes funded by Young Person Glasgow, and that is about our en route programme is for young people who are leaving school or left school, who are pre-stage 1 or stage 1 in the employability pipeline. So to let you understand, that'll be our young people that may be due to low-level mental health, anxiety, maybe lack of experience, a lack of understanding, maybe interrupted school attendance for a large number of reasons. They're not ready to leave and go right into training or college or a job. So the en route is about our supporting these young people on a one-to-one basis, doing an assessment along with the young person, looking to see where are their aspirations, where do they want to go, and how can we help them to get there. And that for some of our young people is their very first step. Now that en route programme can work with the young people onwards until such times it is the right time for the young people to step into their next step. And that could be college, that could be an employability, but that could also be onto our Next Steps programme, which is also funded by Young Persons Guarantee. So our Next Steps programme is for young people who have left school and don't have a destination. And there can be a lot of young people for a lot of reasons why that's the situation. So the young person can come from en route. They could be referred by their DYW coordinator in school who's been working with them. They could also be referred by Skills Development Scotland. And that's for young people, as I said, who don't have a positive destination. We are in very close contact with Skills Development Scotland about all the young people. The Next Steps deliver bespoke programmes to support our young people to participate, gain experience and enter their next steps. So if I give you an example, a young group of boys having left school, ideally want to get into construction, maybe for whatever reason haven't got any experience. So getting right into an apprenticeship is going to be difficult for them. They then come forward to us, get some skills, get an understanding, get some qualifications, and then are supported to go forward into an apprenticeship. The other part of our Next Steps programme is the 3 Glasgow colleges have all got a member of staff from us who's part of our team. And they're there to support our young people who have got into college. During summer, they will work with that young person one-to-one or in a small group. And it could be things like getting to college, what bus do I get? How do I do that? I'm unsure how to do that. It could be quite a nervous time for this young person. Taking them into the college during the summer, taking them a tour, introducing them to student services, introducing them to anybody that deals with finance, letting them see where the library is. A very informal but much needed service for our young people. When the young people start college, this member of staff will be physically in their building. And from that, the young person can go to them at any point and ask for support. Now, that can be asked for a support in a lot of different ways. I've lost my bus pass and I've no money to get home, which for some people might seem quite trivial, but for some of our young people, it can be the final straw of why I'm not going to carry on in college. It could also be, I need to go online, but I've not got any IT at home and I didn't want to admit that in my class. Not a problem. Let's see how we can support you. So the en route and next step is all about supporting our young people to enter their next step from school and to sustain. Can you go on to the next? Now, in good Jerry Lyons style, I always like to finish off a presentation showing our young people. And this I took from Twitter, and it was on the kind of Tigers, which is a training organisation who do a lot of work with us. And this was a huge congratulations to 4 of their young people who have managed to complete their health and safety assessment through their CSCS card programme. And it was a lovely picture. But after that, the tweet that came after that really warmed my heart. The tweet that came after that was a mum of one of the boys sharing the picture on her Twitter account to say something like, "Look how well Stu's doing, isn't he doing brilliant?" And that was definitely a proud mummy moment. And, you know, it's all about supporting our young people to enter a positive destination that then enables them to progress throughout their career.
Michelle, and thanks to Tony and Gillian as well. Hopefully that's given you a flavour of all the range of opportunity, and it's a huge range of opportunity. And as I was saying at the start, it doesn't matter what circumstances a young person finds themselves in or what their life is like at a particular time. We have a support, we have a programme, we have a destination for them. That might just be the start of a journey, but they have to start the journey, and we support them to do that. And that's really what Towards Better Futures is all about. Tony's presentation on foundation apprenticeships lets you see what a massively positive opportunity that is for a whole load of young people. And if you keep your head in the right place and think, right, where do we want to go here? What do we want to do? Then very often you'll come back to, oh, there's a foundation apprenticeship that will help with that. I think graduate apprenticeships are a fantastic opportunity for young people who would otherwise have gone to university, not because they're not good enough for university, just because it's every bit as good as university. They get the same level of qualification, but they're with a company, they get paid, and their opportunity for progression is much better. And Gillian's taking you through all the Glasgow Guarantee stuff. And I really want all Glasgow young people who want to get into Glasgow Guarantee, and I know Gillian wants that as well. So it's really important that you understand that. So that's us, Leanne. Hope that's been helpful for people. All the team are here to answer questions. I am going to hopefully be able to just pass questions on to other people. That's my plan, Leanne. So the question will get asked, and then I'm just going to say, Tony will answer that, or Shell will answer that, or Gillian will answer that. And everyone will be dead impressed with the answer, but they know it won't have come from me. So that sounds like a plan, I think. So Leanne, over to you or Catherine for the question and answers. And hopefully, and please, I would just emphasise to everyone, please ask any question you want. Don't leave wondering. Ask anything you want. We're happy to answer any question.
So the first question that came in is, does my son need to have his exam results before he applies for an apprenticeship? So I've said that we would answer that live, so I don't know who wants to take that.
I think in terms of Glasgow Guarantee, I would pass that to Gillian, and then more widely for apprenticeships, maybe Tony can come in. Does that sound about right, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, Gillian, over to you.
Thank you very much, Jerry. So to apply for a job on Glasgow Guarantee, you don't have to have had your exam results yet. Some vacancies will have specific entry-level requirements, just depending on the apprenticeship that's advertised, but it will all be on the advert at that time. Doesn't mean to say that you can't apply for the vacancy whilst you're waiting on your results to come in, but it may be further down the line once the exam results are issued, whether or not you'd be successful in that post. But by all means, whilst waiting on results, I would apply for vacancies that you know there's a chance that you're going to meet those entry-level requirements if they are advertised on there.
Okay. Tony?
Yeah, I'm just going to echo Gillian. She actually done it more eloquently than I can, so thank you, Gillian. But it's the exact same scenario from a foundation apprenticeship perspective. I would absolutely apply for those frameworks that you're interested in, and the provider will actually speak to you personally about, you know, where you think your marks are going to be, and obviously even if there's additional support that you need in order to get onto the framework, they can also help you there as well. So I would encourage everyone just to apply for that as well. Yeah.
Okay. There's a bit of a supplementary here now. Somebody's saying it sounds fantastic, but how do you manage to support all school leavers?
Oh, that's a difficult question, actually. Will I take that one, Shea, will I? So remember that all school leavers are individual young people. So we don't think of them really in groups. And some young people don't need direct support. So there are some young people who are absolutely clear about what they want to do. Let's say they want to be a teacher. From my point of view, why wouldn't you? You know exactly what you want to be. You know exactly the subjects that you need because your pastoral care teacher's done that with you, your head of year. You're on that track. You're completely focused on it. And there's loads of our young people like that. Loads of them. So they're fine. There's other young people that know they want to do other things. So we've got a big load of our 4,700 leavers who are pretty clear about what they want to do, and we just let the schools do their bit with them. Then we get to groups where they're not quite sure or where things aren't working out the way they'd hoped, and that's when other people kick in, like the Towards Better Futures team, the En route, or whatever the support is required. So it's all about pupil need, it's all about young person need. Lots of people just need their school, other people need something more targeted, and the Towards Better Future team and the DYW coordinators, we focus on them, and they're about 10% of our leavers. I think there's another squad that we could do better by, and they're the ones that I want to get into Glasgow Guarantee, to get into foundation apprenticeships, because they're doing things, but there's better things for them to do, and we just need them to understand that and buy into that, and then there's much more possibility available to them. So it's a whole system thing, but everybody's focused on the same thing, which is no unemployed Glasgow school leavers. End of.
Catherine, before you move on to the next question, can I maybe ask a question that leads quite nicely to that one, Jerry? It just came in my head. So I have my child who is quite focused and knows what she wants to do, but I am a mentor with MCR Pathways, and my young person isn't so focused. She's just not sure. So how do you guys, if a young person, because I'm sure she's not the only one, because I have asked many young people when you meet them just for like a bit of chat, you say, what do you want to do when you leave school? And quite regularly you do get the answer, oh, I don't know, I just don't know yet. So how do you guys, I mean, I don't know who's best to answer it, but what then do you guys do at that point if a young person comes to you that doesn't have any sort of idea? What do you do in that situation?
I think different bits, different members of the team. I'll answer that from a school perspective in the first instance, Leanne, which is, at that point, we really advise young people to keep their options open. So don't close things off. So, you know, if you're going to choose subjects, choose a wide range. Don't just choose all sciences or all creative arts or anything like that, so that you don't close off anything. Your career advisors there from SDS, they can have a good conversation. We can get, for some of the particularly care experienced young people, we can get them into talent tasters. We're revising work experience, so we get people out into the world of work so they can just see what it's like. And we just work through that process, put them in touch with employers, let them hear from other young people who do different things that are like them. You know that thing, if I can't see it, I can't be it. So we get young people like them to come along and say, I do this, I do that, I do the next thing. So business partnership's really important. And through all of that, we just give them all the support we can. But you know, the other point, Leanne, I think is really important. It's no unheard of. It's not that unusual. What we don't want young people to do is panic about it, because there's loads of stuff out there and they will come up with something. And remember, it's not like, you know, a young guy like me and a young woman like you, Leanne, we very often I left to one career. I just did one thing. Young people today don't do that. They do 6, 7, 8. We've got people in our team in the local authority who've done, it's their 4th job and they're 25 or something like that. Really important they don't panic and think they're in trouble. They're not. It's just a matter of taking your time and keeping your options open. I don't know what, Shell supported quite a lot of young people in that kind of situation when she was at St Andrews and now, but any of the rest of the team might want to add to that.
No,
I think
that's great.
Sorry, I think I would just reiterate, it's about the young person getting the chance to try, and also to hear about and to experience. And it's okay to go and work placement and then come back and say, I absolutely hated every minute of that. That's absolutely a positive out of that. And it's letting the young person know that there's no such thing as a fail. It's a, let's cross that out as a possibility, and let's look at all of these other ones. But Skills Development Scotland, the career advice and guidance, does a lot of work S1, S2, S3, as well as into senior phase. So, you know, it's all about keeping it wide the younger they are, and then start narrowing it in, and just letting them understand they're not themselves the minute they leave the school gate. We're still there.
Yeah.
Okay, Michelle, there's a question here. Oh,
sorry, I think it's more adults that panic, to be fair, than the young people, which I'm sure there's people listening that if you ask your young person, what do you want to do? And if they don't have an idea, I think it's just natural for us as parents to go, oh no, like you need to think of something. So that's good to hear.
No, they really don't.
There's a question here about if you choose an apprenticeship and then you change your mind, can you change mid-term to another type of apprenticeship? So I thought I'd pick that one up because it's not unrelated to what's being discussed there.
I'll jump in for that one if you want, from a foundation perspective, if that's okay. That's the beauty about a foundation apprenticeship, because it gives a young person a taste of what that sector and role is going to be like, and obviously the learning from that. I think, and even in Glasgow, and Michelle will keep me right as well, you know, we've got what we would call good news stories of young people starting off, say, in an engineering framework and then deciding after a year it's not for them, it's not the career they want to go into, and they've went and done a 1-year FA in IT or finance, and then subsequently got an MA or a GA from that. For me, that's a success, you know. So there is, I think Jerry mentioned that, it's not about failure, it's about trying different aspects, what's out there for you, and then moving on. And the same can be said within the modern apprenticeship as well, for the person that asked the question. You know, we have that as well with people who have started a modern apprenticeship and soon found out it's not for them and they go down a different route. So absolutely, you can do that. You can take a change if that suits you better, yeah.
Okay, Thank you. The next question is specifically for Michelle, and it may be something that we then make a link offline, because we're conscious that we don't name people because this is recorded. Okay. So this may be one that Leanne will link you up afterwards. So it's a question about contact. Somebody asking for help for their son over the summer to transition into college. He's in 6th year and attends college twice a week to study cybersecurity and has applied to do an HNC there. He would like to eventually gain a degree but is not ready for university at the moment. He is autistic and not coping well in school. I feel that support over the summer, and especially to have someone at college for support, would be perfect for him. I wish I'd heard of Towards Better Futures before now. So it's maybe somebody that's looking for a bit of a steer as to, that support that's available over the summer. And you might be able to answer it generally, and you might want to pick it up specifically offline afterwards.
Okay, so if a young person is in a Glasgow school, their DYW coordinator can support. However, just as a backup, if Leanne or yourself can do an email between myself and the individual, then I can just middleman that with the DYW coordinator, and let's make sure that support is available on finishing school, through summer, right into college, and right up at least until their first year is what we would be looking to support. So I think DYW coordinator in school would be the natural way, and that's just open for everybody. But in this instance, by all means, Leanne or Kathleen, if you can just link myself with that parent or guardian, and I can take that forward.